pedal assist level 6 is 70% of help. I'm doing 21 miles an hour, and I feel every bit of the resistance at gear 7. Now, had I done this in the past, I would have been ghost pedaling at 21 miles an hour. Let's go a little faster. So I'm at pedal assist level 7, pedal assist level 8. I am ghost pedaling at level 8, which is 90% of assist. Well, actually, it's 85% of assist. Ghost pedaling at 26 miles an hour. Police car just passed me. He has not stopped me. He has not said anything. Okay, I've dropped down to 7 at 23 miles an hour. Hey, this is Russ. Yeah, we're back out on the road again. So where are we heading today? I decided we're gonna go to Flick Park again in Glenview. Not that I need to be there for any reason, but it just gives us a destination to go to and then be able to head back. Now, according to my map here, we have about another 13 miles to get there. And of course another 13, 14, 15 miles to get back. I've been riding for a little bit already. I only brought the one battery. I have the 20 amp hour Magicycle battery on my Magicycle Cruiser. And I figured that's enough. Yeah, I should be able to do close to 40 miles on this bike if I am conservative on my pedal assists and also on my throttling. So I don't know if you can notice, but you might see that my shifter is set at level 4. I mentioned on another video that I have changed the chainring on my Magicycle Cruiser. I've gone to a 52 teeth chainring. Yeah, it's a little bit different. But because of that, I can now use my gears again if I'm going fast. I was ghost pedaling mostly anything over, I don't know, maybe 18 miles an hour. I was already ghost pedaling. Never really liked the feeling of that. Now I understand why they do things like this is because, you know, the bike is legally set for 20 miles per hour unless you unlock it to give it a class 3 rating of 28 miles per hour. Well, if you do that, you're probably going to be ghost pedaling if you're pedaling at all. And ghost pedaling, for those who don't know what that is that you don't feel any resistance when you're pedaling. It's just like you're moving your legs, keeping the cadence sensor going, but yeah, you can't feel anything. You're not getting the exercise that you might want if you're one for exercise, and you're really not helping that much. The motor really is kind of doing most of the work. So I figured, well, since I am one that typically rides relatively quick, why not change it? Now the drawback of it, as I mentioned before, is the chainring does stick up above the chainring guard. So you see the little sprockets, which means you got to be really careful if you're going to be wearing long pants or any type of shoe with laces. Now you remember too, the one time I did fall was my third fall. I had gotten my right shoelace caught, not in the chainring, but I got it caught in the pedals, the crank, I should say. All right, and it got wrapped around there, and of course, I fell over because I purposely fell over. I didn't want to stop and put my left leg down because that's how I fell on the last 2 times before that. Because at that time, my knee was very weak, as well as my left leg. And so it wouldn't hold my weight and the bike, so I fell twice because of that. And that's the reason why I didn't stop at a lot of the stop signs last year. But so I decided the best thing to do was just purposely take the fall on the right side to protect the left replaced knee. So after that incident, I made the decision that the best thing to do was actually remove the shoelaces from my shoe. You know, the shoe that I have is made by Adidas. Those shoelaces are decorative. They don't really do anything. They're not there to tighten the shoe or anything like that. It was just a decorative thing. And so I said, what do I even need these shoelaces for? It's just a hazard. So I took them all off. And that's what I ride with today. I am wearing that shoe out. You know, the pedals, they got little bumpy things that give you a little chance of a grip on your shoes, and that's eating out the bottom of my shoe. And I think when I took that fall, I poked a little hole right at the toe as well of that shoe. So it's got a little hole in the front and starting to get holes in the bottom pretty soon. So I'm gonna have to replace it with another shoe. But either way, whatever shoe I decide to go with, I'm taking off the laces. It's just not worth it. And then on top of that too, now that the chainring sticks up over the chainring guard, if my shoelace gets caught on that, you're going down. So that's the danger I see making this modification. Now there are other things out there where you can buy the chainring and the guard and everything and the crank set, the whole thing all in one. But one of the problems that was identified that, you know, sometimes these cranks kind of get in the way and they hit the frame of the Magicycle. So to be safe, that I didn't have to deal with all that extra work, I decided the best thing to do was keep on with the original Magicycle equipment, just change the chain ring itself. But that of course means that the guard is not going to protect you from that chain ring that sticks up more, because now it's 52 teeth. So yeah, it's a give and take. If you decide to do this yourself, I highly recommend you think twice about it and know the potential dangers and hazards. Now, my apologies to Magicycle for making a modification to the bike, but I had to do what I had to do in order to make these rides easier and better for myself. Now you notice I'm not going really fast right now. I'm kind of taking it easy, and that's okay. I decided I'm going to try to pedal as much as I can. There's going to come to a point where I'm going to be too tired out from the pedaling, in which case then I'll throttle, but I'll try to be conservative. And then we're going to have to hit some major streets, and at that point I'm going to try to hit a higher pedal assist level and move my gears up. Now, I seem to be hanging around gear level 4 more often than not at this point. I used to hang around 6 and 7, right? That's because anything less is just like, what's the point? Couldn't feel it anyways. But now, with high pedal assist levels, let's say 80% pedal assist levels or whatever, in that range, my gear at 7 can compete with it. I can actually feel it. And that's the main reason we change out chain rings. We want to get a little better. Now, some people change out freewheels and things. These are the gears in the back, you know, those cluster of 7 things, seven sprockets, you want to call them sprockets, in the back. Some people change those things out. That's a little much for me. I don't know if I can handle that and really want to do all that. The easiest and fastest thing was to change the chain ring, with knowledge that there's always that potential hazard that can occur as well. So be careful if you do it. I'll show you a photo of it. You know, when we get a better chance, I'll hop off the bike again and show you what I did to it, just so that in case you didn't see the other video, you can see it on this one. It's only 4 screws to take off. Use a hex driver. It's kind of a big one, the big thick one. I don't know what the millimeters is. It's just 4 of those comes off, and then it takes the entire thing off, and then you just put the new one on it. Put everything together the same way that you took it off, and you're fine. So it's an easy upgrade, really. Under $30 upgrade. But you know, somebody asked me, will you be able to now do 40 miles an hour? No, I don't think so. I didn't do it for those purposes. I did it just so that I wouldn't be ghost pedaling. Now the direction we're going, of course, is common to us. We've done this many times, and we're heading in the same direction to get to Flick Park in Glenview. And like I said, I have no real purpose to go there. It's just some location to go to before I was just riding around streets with no purpose. I think we need a destination, even if we're not really going to do anything at the park. Just a destination to get to, then head back, right? Otherwise, I'm wandering the streets again, and without knowledge of any of the neighborhoods, it makes it hard to know where I'm really headed. So I'm using the Apple Maps right now to guide me again. And temperatures are low 70s right now. It's not too bad as long as we're riding. If I'm stopped here, I can obviously feel the heat from the sun. So yeah, I've even gone down to gear level 3, which I don't know what the equivalent. That might be the equivalent of like 5, maybe 6. I don't know, but I'm able to use my gears more now. Yeah, this is 3. I know I need to make a little bit of adjustment in the back. Let me back it down again. Yeah, I can hear it clicking on the derailleur area, which means I need to make an adjustment on the derailleur itself. Now, to do that, I've never really messed too much with it before to set the adjustment screws and everything on the derailleur. Doesn't seem that hard, but it seems a little tedious going back and forth and checking all the gears. I gotta take a left over here. And I found a video from Park Tools. Park Tools is a company that manufactures tools for bicycling, and they talk about how to make the adjustments on your derailleur. It's not hard, really. I think the hard thing is lifting up the back wheel. If you don't have a bike rack, lifting it up and turning it and adjusting, that's going to be hard. You have to rig up something, or it's going to be a tough thing to do. I wonder if you can do it if you just flip the bike over. I'm not really sure. Flipping it over is not a good idea either, because you've got hydraulic brakes, and people have told me you don't want to introduce any type of air bubbles into there. You want to keep these brake levers level. You don't want to flip it upside down. It's not a good idea. You want to end up bleeding the line, the brake line. That would be another thing then. I don't want to do that either. So yeah, I got to rig something up. I got to think about it. Now, my wife had told me too that she had been noticing her derailleurs clicking a little bit as well when she's trying to make an adjustment. But yeah, we'll stop here for the bus. I know there's no one there because I can see them. All right. So I've got to adjust hers as well. So might as well learn to do it and fix them all. Make sure they're all right. I think while I'm at it, I might as well check all the other bikes. If I learn how to do it, I might as well learn and do it on all of them. So we've gone about 3.5 miles now. Of course, I'm still at 100% because this is the 20 amp hour battery. I find that a lot of times when I'm using the bike, you know, maybe not this slowly, but when I'm using the bike, I can do about 8 miles to 9 miles before I see the 100% start dipping in terms of battery level. We'll see. I've been pedaling most of the time here, but as you know, my leg strength and everything isn't the greatest due to the knee replacement, and so I can't put in the same effort that I think a lot of you guys are able to do. Oh, and today, yeah, see, dogs want to get me. I hear them barking at me, come running by the fence to see me. Today is the day that I announced all of the winners of the Magicycle mirrors. Okay, we're turning here. So today is Monday. I'm not sure when you'll see this video. I have several other things coming out this week before this video comes out. I'm probably about 4 or 5 days ahead of you guys now at this point for videos. There's a review video coming out on Wednesday. Make sure, well, by the time you see this video, it would have already came out. So I don't have to say make sure and see it because you've probably already seen it. This is the problem with being ahead of you guys, because when I'm ahead of you guys, when I'm talking, I don't know, what I'm saying is my current day, but what you're seeing is past at that point. Since we know this video is going to come out after all that, you would have already seen the video of the review. So let me talk a little bit about that review bike. Maybe some things I may or may not have mentioned on the review, I don't know. Let me pass through here first. So that was the Engwe EP2 Pro. Now they have other models. It's not the only model they have. That is their entry-level model. Retails for $1,049.99. I'm just going to drop the 99 cents part. Just call it $1,049, and then you can get a 2-battery version of that for only $50 more, $1,099.99, or let's just say $1,100. All right. I will tell you that because of all of the delays I had in getting that bike reviewed, I was getting more and more disgusted with it, to tell you the truth. I was like, this thing is never going to happen. Now, I'm not blaming the bike. I'm not blaming the company. I'm just saying it took forever because of this this waiting time to get the front fork and getting it damaged from FedEx when I was all ready and set to go with it. I was planning to, once that review was over, take that bike out more often so we can actually go to different places. Okay, I gotta take a left here. But because of the damage and everything, it delayed us at least 2 months. We lost 2 months of our summer. Places we could have maybe gone to further out. I could have gone places with my wife, put all the bikes inside the car and go. So yeah, it made me a little disgusted with the whole deal, and it's putting a bad taste in my mouth about the bike. Shockingly, I ended up really liking that bike. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I didn't think I would, because it's an inexpensive bike in comparison to the other bikes. It was the cheapest bike I'd ever had for an e-bike, and I was thinking, okay, I just wanted to see how good can an inexpensive bike really be. Hey, that thing's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. Now, people have asked me, you're going to be getting rid of bikes and selling them off. Are you going to sell off the Engwe? It's the cheapest one you have. I don't think so. I think I'm going to keep it. I think it'll be my lender bike. If somebody says, can I try an e-bike? I think that's the one I'm going to let them try. Yeah, it's safer for them because the pedal assist does not go full maximum when they hit it accidentally. If they're at pedal assist level 2, if they full max their throttle, it only goes as fast as what pedal assist level 2 will give them. Same thing for 3, 4, 5, whatever, So I think it's actually the safest bike to give them to try out without fear that, they're going to hit the throttle accidentally and then go taking off and fall off the bike. So yeah, I think I'm keeping that bike for that purpose. And then when I want to go places that I may not necessarily want my more expensive bikes to be at, or if I want to travel someplace with my wife, put the 2 bikes inside her SUV, which we did, by the way. I'll talk about that in a second. I think at that point, that's the bike that's going to go into the car. Now, they are giving me a second battery. By the time this video comes out, I would have already had it. They did confirm it was shipped out. I do have a FedEx confirmation that they will be coming in tomorrow for me. So by the time you see this video, I would have already had the second battery and should be working on the second video for Engwe, talking about the range. Sorry, still burping up breakfast. Talking about the range of the battery. So now, is it the only folding bike that I'm going to get? And the answer is no. I am expecting the Magicycle Jaguar Rundy eventually to get to my way. Now that is a more expensive folding bike. That one's gonna be, what is that thing? $14.95, $14.99, $15.95. I don't know, something in that general area. I think something like that. 16? I'm not sure, but it is more expensive than this other bike. Interestingly enough, the Engwe touts a 750 watt motor. The Magicycle touts 600. Now I will tell you this: we were at the Chain of Lakes in I keep forgetting the name of the city that the Chain of Lakes is in. It's in Illinois. It's a state park. Okay. I had to go up some hills. I went down hills, no problem with it. I had to go up some hills, and the Engwe had problems getting up the hill, which means the torque is not as strong. I gotta turn right here. The torque is not as strong as it could be. So even though it has 750 watts, it didn't have the power to get up the hill. Now these are admittedly pretty steep hills though. I was struggling through it, I couldn't get through it. We had to go another way to get back. So I'm curious if the Jaguar Rundy will be able to do it though. Now they claim a 600 watt motor, but as we know, Magicycle usually has some pretty good torque on their bikes. The question is, will it have enough to go up hills like that? Yeah, we'll see. This will be an interesting test, right? Less expensive bike can't make it up the hill. Will the more expensive bike with less actual wattage rating, 600 watts versus 750, will it have more torque to get up the hill? Can't wait to see what that one does. So, will I be using the Jaguar Rundy more than the Engwe? We'll see. We shall see. Now, obviously, as you guys know, I really like my Magicycle Cruiser, soon to be known as my semi-pro, because I'm going to have a lot of the stuff that the Pro bike has, except the motor upgrade is a little different on the Pro. It's a little bit better than this one, has a little more torque. But yeah, it's okay. I don't usually go up hills like that in this general area. School is back in session. Look at all the kids out here. Yeah, they're off to my left. I know you can't see it, but that's okay. I'm not going to shoot the kids there. It's the gym classes or something going on. So, yeah, I think if the Jaguar Rundy does better, I will take that probably more often. If they come out the same, I may just take the Engwe. It's cheaper. I don't have to worry about it as much, right? And I don't know if you'll see that video before. You'll probably see that video before this one too. The video going to the Chain of Lakes. To put the two bikes inside that Honda CR-V that my wife has. It's an older CR-V. It's 2011, so it's an older one. Rear seats don't fold all the way down. And so we had a problem putting two bikes in. We found that what we had to do was fold the handlebar stem down on her Rad Mini Step-thru 2, put the bike in as is without folding it in half, and then folding the Engwe totally down and putting that standing up. It was a tight fit, I'm telling you. It wasn't easy to do, but we got it done. We got both bikes in there, so we were able to go out. And she liked it. She liked going out. She said she liked it. She wouldn't mind doing it again or going to other places. So yeah, we might be able to take you some places still this year. But yeah, we lost 2 months. I'm telling you, we lost 2 months, and that's why I wasn't feeling good about the bike at first, because I said, "Wow, this thing really messed us up." And again, like I said, no real fault to Engwe, other than the fact it took them forever to get it to me. For the replacement part, that was 2 months to get it. I don't know why it took them that long, quite frankly. Shouldn't take that long from China, but little things, odds and ends happened, and next thing you know, by the time they got it to me, it was 2 months later. So I kind of still blame FedEx for most of this issue, because had they not damaged the bike, we would have been done with so much earlier. So where we're at, we got 450 feet to hit the minor street and take a left. I'm still at 100%. I'm at 5.8 miles. Like I said, I typically get at least 8 miles before I still start seeing that thing drop. So I'm hand signaling, making sure everyone knows I plan to take a left. Following the school bus. Yeah, and look, they're all dropping them off. I'll let you guys see that. There's a lot of buses going in there. Yeah, school's back in session. Not everybody, but in this area, apparently so. I'm always a little nervous because a lot of the kids get dropped off, and also a lot of kids drive if they're high schoolers. There's a lot of cars in a lot of these high school lots. So it makes me a little nervous about that. And if I get out too early in the morning, then I have to deal with that kind of traffic. So I usually try to wait till at least around the 9 o'clock hour before heading out, so I don't run into rush hour traffic. Everyone going to work, going to school. It's a little too much. So yeah, the drawing happened. There is a deadline to claim your prize. If you haven't done so, I gave you essentially a week to claim it, and then till the end of August to redeem it. So if you want to get your mirrors, get moving on it if you haven't already done so. Now I noticed too, before I left today, emails were coming in already from the winners, giving me their information. So if you haven't done it and you were one of the winners, watch that video that was released on that Monday. It shows who won the prizes. I actually do the drawing in front of you so you can see how it was done. And yeah, send me that email and then make a response back as instructed. And then I will send you your code and then redeem it as soon as you can. We don't want to drag this thing out, right? So people have asked me too, if you have leftover mirrors, can I have one? Well, here's the thing. I don't have the mirrors, okay? These are being sent directly from Magicycle. All I have are codes. So I just hand the codes out to the people who won, and it's up to them to redeem them. If they don't redeem them, then okay, that's it. There's not extra codes to give you, and I won't really know whether they redeemed them or they didn't. And so anyways, I can't give you extra mirrors if they don't redeem them. I don't have that ability. Thank you so much too. Several of you people several of you folks, what's a good word to say? Several of you subscribers and viewers, there you go, had purchased Magicycle bikes using the special discount code that they gave us that was only good for several days. And I appreciate that because I did see it come through, and you did it correctly. Thank you so much. I got credit for that. And I was quite pleasantly surprised that people actually did that, because I was wondering, it says, who could make a decision that quickly on a bike? We're only giving them, what do we give them? Friday through Sunday. A couple days to make the decision. Came out Friday morning, you had until Sunday evening, midnight, to do it, Eastern time, 12 midnight, 11:59, I guess they said. And yeah, several of you did it. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your bike. I know a lot of you guys have bought Magicycle bikes. I'm actually shocked myself. I figured, well, some people will buy it, but I guess when you have a lot of subscribers, and of course not all of them watch Russ's Ride all the time, I said, will people even see it? Will they make a decision that quickly in a couple of days and buy a bike? Well, maybe you were thinking about it. Maybe this was the thing that pushed you over the edge, right? Maybe it was, I don't know. But yeah, thanks. I really appreciate it. And like I said, a lot of you guys have bought bikes. I'm talking a lot of people have bought Magicycle bikes. They told me the number. I won't tell you the final number, but I was shocked. I said, really? That many? Yeah, you know, I would like to hear why you guys made that decision. If you bought bikes on my recommendation, whether you bought a KBO or whether you bought a Magicycle, whether you plan to buy the Engwe, whether you bought a Rad power bike. Yeah, I don't have affiliations with Rad. Remember I told you that? I don't have a thing, but I do have a discount code for you in the description of my videos, which saves you $50. And a lot of you guys did that. I appreciate that very much. Thank you for that. That's because I bought a Rad. When I bought a Rad, they gave me a discount code to give to people. And so I gave it to you guys, and you guys used it over and over and over. And that's my only affiliation to Rad, is I'm an owner of Rad Power Bikes. All right, I'm not a business associate of them or anything like that. Oh, let me mention this too, because I've had several people ask me to get in contact on their behalf for certain issues for bike manufacturers. I really can't do that for you. I'm sorry. I don't want to get in the middle of any issues you might have with servicing or anything like that. I'm not really set up to do that. I'm just a guy who was given a bike for review, and it's really up to me whether I talk further about those bikes or I don't. It's really my only requirement for many of the manufacturers is to make one video for them, and some of them to make 2 videos for them, and that is it. I could literally sell off the bike and never talk about it ever again, or I can keep it and ride it. Well, obviously, I decided to keep the Magicycle and ride it because it's such a great bike, and so it's become my number one bike. Even though I have the Rad power bike, I prefer this one. I think if this bike was available, or it may have been available when I bought my bike, but if this bike was one that I had heard of before, before I bought the Rad power bike, and knowing the specifications and its reputation of, you know, what it's able to do, I probably would have bought this bike over the Rad initially. But I'm kind of glad it turned out the way it did, all right, because I got to learn about the e-bikes using the Rad, and then this year Magicycle contacts me, and I had heard about the reputation of the bike already, so I said, yeah, I want to review it. And now many of you have benefited at least with the discount codes I've given with the Rad, and then a lot of you guys have bought the Magicycle as well, so everyone wins in that situation. I had a couple people ask me, looking back, do you regret buying the Rad? And actually, no. I really like the Rad, but after having a little bit more powerful bike and seeing what it's able to do, I kind of appreciate what the Magicycle is able to do for me now. And then, of course, the upgrades they've given me with the hydraulic brakes and everything, it just keeps adding to the value of the bike. So I ride this more than I ride the Rad. I do have to ride the Rad though, because I need to exercise those batteries too. I can't just let the unit pack power batteries just sit there. So I think maybe on the next ride or two I'll take out the Rad and work on it, ride it a little bit, give it its fair shake. But no, I don't regret it. In fact, I made a video at 2,500 miles on the Rad bike and said that I probably would not upgrade. I wouldn't change to another bike. Okay. At that time, I didn't know any better. Now I know better. Now I know that this Magicycle would be the one I would upgrade to. But I think a lot of comments that people make when they say this is the best I know, it's only of what they know. It's not. I mean, this I'm sure the Magicycle is not the best bike in the world. There's bound to be others that are far better. But I look at its price and what else is out there on the market, and I'd say it's quite competitive. You know, even if you don't buy the Pro version, if you just buy the basic cruiser, what this bike originally came out as, it's a good value. So, enough advertising for Magicycle, but they deserve it. Thank you so much to Magicycle for everything they've done for me and for the mirrors they've given out to you guys. So we're at almost 8 miles now. We're at 100% still. I've been pedaling for most of it. I have throttled for the last couple miles, trying to regain some strength back in my legs. You know, I told you guys too that I've been getting cramps in the leg, And one of you did reach out to me by email, and to tell me about some potential issues, medical issues that could cause that I should have checked out. Yeah, I might actually do that, to tell my doctor what I've been feeling and stuff, just in case there is issues. I really think it's just from overtiredness of riding too much, and then getting leg cramps, because I don't pedal as much as you guys do, and then when I do a day of heavy when I do a heavy day of pedaling, I feel it the next day, or I start getting a cramp the next day. I think it's just from overdoing it, really. But thank you for reaching out and letting me know. I will at least mention it to my doctor next time I see him. We have to have a follow-up anyways for blood work. I mentioned that he said that my blood results was not as good as it could have been. And we know that because I was eating more now. And you can see it in my face, quite frankly. If you look at some of the videos, you see certain time I was a lot thinner in my face, and then now I'm a little bit chunkier. So I'll mention it to him at that point. All right, these folks are crossing the red light. Probably they gave up and waiting. I'll wait a little bit. We'll see. The thing is, there's nobody here to trigger the light. Well, they must have pushed a button and decided not to go, because we're going to get the light now. Or decided to go early, I should say. So far, I've been conservative in the pedaling and conservative in the riding. I'm not going really fast. I don't know what my average is. Let me take a look at the specifications here.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto North Owen Street.
I was averaging about 11 miles per hour. That's what it says. Been on the bike for 45 minutes. Trip is 8.4 miles. So what's the odometer at? 799. Now you might think that's a lot, but I'm going to say that's not as much as I did last year. Now last year I rode a lot more than I did this year. This year, weather was just so messed up this year. So hot, raining. I had multiple bikes to deal with. I guess if I added up the odometer of all the bikes, I'm probably at about, I'm going to say at least 1,000 miles this year so far. Sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. Last year I did 2,600 miles before stopping in December. Now it is only August. We have several more months left, so it is possible that I will hit into the 2,000 mile range this year. But if I don't, I wouldn't be surprised, because we lost a lot of riding days. Some of the rides have been longer rides. Other rides, not so much. All right. I'm supposed to turn here. Okay, let's turn here. I don't remember going this way before. Maybe it was this way. Whatever it is, whatever Apple Maps tells me to do, that's where we're going to go, unless we're going into an extremely dangerous road, in which case then, no, I'm not going to do that. Now, there are probably easier ways to go. I know one of you guys have been telling me different routes to take, because you're a local guy here. I have not followed his direction yet. Maybe one day I will. I have made the notes, though, of it. And but I think, all in all, I think it's just easier for me to let the map tell me where to go, even though it may not be the best choices. I don't have to really think about it. I can talk about things on my videos while the map tells me turn here, turn there, and if I make a mistake, it'll reroute me. So, forgive me if I don't follow your directions. I appreciate you telling me where to go, but I think if I had to write it down and then look at it, it would be harder for me than if I just had the map thing tell me what to do. So I must have missed something, and it's giving me a different way of going, because I don't recall doing this one before. But maybe I didn't use the Apple Maps before either. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. Done so many of these videos now. I can't recall. So like I said, I'm on pedal assist level 3 for me, which I believe is set for around 34%, 35, 36%, something like that, assist level. The minute I hit level 4, everything goes up by quite a bit. Level 4 is 50%, level 5 is 60%, level 6 is 70%, so it's always like 10 more than the number. All right, we gotta turn here. Oh, okay, I see what they're doing.
Turn right.
Yeah, maybe we did do that before. So we'll have to take Rand Road, not my favorite road, as you know. But I think it's a short amount of Rand Road, and then it'll probably take me on Central, I'm gonna guess. Central's not the greatest road either, but I'm used to it, so. And I think the last time we did Rand Road, I took the sidewalk just to avoid being on Rand Road. I may do that again. We had to be a little careful because I think it had road construction or sometimes sidewalk construction or something like that going on. Yeah, up ahead. Yeah, let's take it. They still have it up there, but I think I could have gone through it last time. Now, as far as riding on the sidewalk, I'd always thought we were not allowed to ride on the sidewalk around here. But apparently, it is legal to ride on the sidewalk unless that village has an ordinance against it. Somebody told me that we couldn't. I don't know who told me that and whether there truly is an ordinance against it. Yeah, this thing has a lot of problems here. All right. We're gonna have to go down because this is all messed up here. I'm gonna go back up on the sidewalk again just to avoid being on Rand Road. Alright, we're gonna run out of sidewalk now. So we're gonna cheat and do this. You know, we have protection here because those cones are there to protect it. I need to take a left. I can go this way here, and then I'll take a left up over here. A little sneaky way of doing it, but hey, we'll go around these cones once we're allowed to go forward. I guess we're allowed to go forward, but there's someone turning left, so I'm going to let them turn left. All right. And we'll take the road now. All right, let's see how well we do. So I'm going to use a higher pedal assist level now to compete against cars. And this is what I came out to do. I was trying to test out whether the new gears will work, and yes, it does. I am pedal assist level 7. I'm going 21 miles an hour on pedal assist 6. All right. I'm doing about 515 watts of power. Pedal assist level 6 is 70% of help. I'm doing 21 miles an hour, and I feel every bit of the resistance at gear 7. Now, had I done this in the past, I would have been ghost pedaling at 21 miles an hour. Let's go a little faster. So I'm at pedal assist level 7, pedal assist level 8. I am ghost pedaling at level 8, which is 90% of assist. Well, actually, it's 85% of assist. Ghost pedaling at 26 miles an hour. Police car just passed me. He has not stopped me. He has not said anything. Okay, I've dropped down to 7 at 23 miles an hour. All right, I'm going to drop my pedal assist levels down because we are approaching stoplight. go to a pedal assist level 3 to start us up, and I'll drop my gears down. Alright, this is the Des Plaines Police, it says. Alright, let's get some gears up here. So I'm at assist level 6. Gear 6. Gear 7. Doing about 21 miles an hour, roughly. And drop down to gear 6. Yeah, I could even feel ghost pedaling at gear 6. Let's go to gear 7. Gear 7, I do not feel ghost pedaling. So 21 miles an hour. Pedal assist 6 is again 10 over, so it's 70% of assist. My wattage is about 474 watts. And my gear is at 7 based on the 52 teeth chainring. Alright, I'm going to have to be careful here because going over this area, I know it's really bumpy here. So I'm going to slow down a little bit. Let this car go. I'm going to go into the lane. That's all beat up over here. You can see on my right side how that road is all hacked up. So yeah, they give us a bike lane, but they don't repair the damage there. Alright, so here's an interesting thing. Let me get back to my mileage here. Trip meter, okay, 10.7 miles. And I told you guys I was at 8 miles. I was still at 100% of my battery. That fast riding and the like, let me drop down here. Dropping down to 90% of battery. So it took 10% of my battery to do that. So anytime you're using, well, okay, here's the, it's another big bump. I remember that one too. I remembered it just as I saw it coming up. I had to stand up, go slower over that thing. Again, they don't fix these things for us. It's dangerous for a bike. They need to really fix that. Trying to compete with the cars essentially means your battery's going to be eating a little bit more. So I'm on pedal assist level 4 now, which would mean 50% of assist level for me. Okay, let's take a little breather. You guys have asked me before about saddles. The question of saddles come up quite a bit all the time. What saddle I use and how am I able to do 60 miles and never get off the bike. Yeah, I use the Bikeroo. The Bikeroo saddle. I don't use the one with the springs. I use the one with the elastomers, which I've always thought is a funny name. It's just rubber down there. It's the one that they call made for indoor exercise bikes. It's really the exact same saddle. It's just, this construction is exactly the same. It's just that it doesn't use the springs. It uses rubber. And the reasoning, again, sorry to repeat for many of you, but there's a lot of new people. The reasoning behind it is I had a saddle in the past that had springs, and one spring was not as springy as the other, I should say. And so I felt lopsided, actually. One side was angling down more than the other side. So that wasn't any fun. So that's when I made the decision I will never buy another saddle with springs. But I like the padding of the Bikeroo. It's got good support. It's got cush, but support. And it's wider. So on the long run, yeah, I could stay up on it. Now, one thing I do is I do tilt the saddle down a little. You know, the nose of the saddle. I like the fact that it's a shorter nose. Let me say that too. But I do tilt that thing down a little bit, not a lot, where I feel like I'm sliding off the bike saddle. I did that to my wife's saddle and she didn't like it. She says tilt it up a little bit. But I don't keep it fully level. I tilt the nose down a little bit. That way it's not hitting important parts for guys, all right? So I feel it more on my sitting bones. What do they call that bone? All right, I'm gonna have to pass this first because there's no cars. Got to get past this because you see all the vegetation that's come into the bike path. I can't go on the bike path and ride through it, or it'll be slapping into me. So I had to go onto the street, and since there was no cars, I had to take advantage of it. Yeah, I sit mostly on my sitting bones. Is that sitting bones? I don't know what the technical name is. Is there a technical name? Let me know. I sit mostly on that. I don't feel it in the areas the guys really don't want squished. So I could stay on this thing longer. I think if the nose was tilted up higher, I would be sitting on areas I don't want to be sitting on as a bike rider, as a guy. That would mean I would have to get off the saddle more. So I think the adjustment of how you set it up is critical. Now, let me say one thing about the Bikeroo. I hadn't thought about this in a long time because I hadn't really done much talk about this one part. The Bikeroo has 2 rails, okay? Now, if you bought a Bikeroo before, you might notice it's a little wider than the area that the Magicycle or maybe any other bike has to clamp onto. So you have to somehow squish that in a little bit more in order for it to take, and you really can't squish it too well. So it was a little harder to adjust, and I try to push the saddle back as far as I can so there's more space between the front of the nose of the saddle and the part of the bike in the front here, the mid-step area, to give me more space, okay? And as you do that, if you try to push it back as far as you can, it makes that width of how it clamps on even harder to adjust. So it's a game of going back and forth to find the right setting for it. And once you have it dialed in, then every now and then tighten it down, because I think it loosens up after all the bouncing that happens, and you're sitting on it and everything, you're waiting on it, and it loosens it up. And so that's not good. So tighten it up every now and then just to make sure it doesn't slip. Otherwise, you may find that you have to readjust the saddle constantly. The tightening is not an adjustment. It's just just making sure it doesn't lose the grip, so to speak. Now this is the same method to go to the North Branch Trail. We're not going to do the North Branch Trail. We're gonna veer off. In half a mile, we're going to take a left. That squeaking is not me. That is the truck ahead of us. We're going to lose our bike lane after this light here. Bike lane ends. All right, we're gonna have to compete a little bit here, because up ahead, as you know, I'm gonna lose the lane altogether. So I'm gonna speed up a bit, because I'm gonna try to get in front of this truck that's behind me that was squeaking, because I gotta get into their lane. So I'm just throttling it now to get myself some speed. Doing about 27 miles an hour right now, because we lose our lane right here. We have nothing there, and then in 800 feet I have to take a left turn. So I'm signaling to the truck driver in the back, letting him know I'm taking a left here and why I'm still in his lane. Looks like he's taking that left as well, but we've got to stop. Alright, so I'm turning and he's turning. We're all turning. This is where your battery power is going to lose, but I had to do it in order to go where we're going. There he goes. Yeah, I would say we competed pretty well. We were doing 27, 28 miles an hour, and we were keeping up with the traffic, so I was not impeding him at all. This is where this class 3 speed helps. Now, I know many of you will say, well, you're not really a class 3 because you were throttling and getting 28 miles an hour. That's true. That's just how the Magicycle is designed. True class 3 would be pedal assist at 28. Quite frankly, I think that's a mistake. I really think they should make class 3 28 throttle and or pedal assist. Because right, quite frankly, in a situation like that, I needed the 28 miles an hour. I can't pedal it, not with my legs the way it is. Now, even if I were to adjust my thing to 7th gear, adjust my pedal assist level, it's so much harder than to just take the throttle and push down on it and get where you need to go. So, you know, for guys like me, I mean, if you want to be a purist about it, yeah, I guess you could say, yeah, your bike is illegal. Well, I didn't design the bike, okay? I'm just using it the way it's made. And Magicycle's not the only one. There's other bike companies too, like even the Engwe. The cheap $1,050 bike, essentially, or 2 batteries for $2,000. No, it was $1,100. Sorry, I keep saying the wrong thing. $1,100. Yeah, that's that'll do 28 miles an hour. And if you are on pedal assist level 5 and you throttle it, you can get 28 miles an hour while throttling. So that bike is also illegal, I guess, if you want to call it that way. I don't know whether it's illegal, but that's how the bikes are set up. It's not the legal classification, that's for sure. But I will tell you that there's times that being able to throttle and get into speed to get yourself out of a situation is worth it. It's definitely worth it. I would do it over and over. I'm gonna take us all the way until we get to the park. We've only got 0.7 miles more to get there, so we're not that far, all right? And then I'll cut us off when we're at the park. We'll start up another video at that point. I've been doing a lot of these long rides and doing them at least as a 2-parter, if not longer. It's okay. It's better to do that than not show you what I'm doing. And it gives me a way to talk while I'm riding. Half a mile away. We're very close now. So yeah, there's certain towns I can get to if I want to, as long as I bring the second battery out. But I usually end up taking the longer route to get there because of safety. You know, taking certain roads. You know, like I said, I'm kind of landlocked where I am, and if I go north, I would have to take roads that I definitely do not want to take, or you know, even west. Sometimes it could be issues. So I stay within certain cities to go to, and I avoid others because I can't get there easily. Now, if I use the bike, if I use the Engwe or maybe the new Jaguarundi, that would be a different story then, right? Then I can drive there, leave the car somewhere, and then go. All right, so we need to turn here. And we are here, Flick Park. So we've made it. Let me cancel the map here. Come on.
The destination is on your left.
I could never do it with my left hand. Now somebody said you need to move this map thing. Your we go. Move it to your right side. I don't have space to put it in the right side. Look at all this stuff here. Where would I put it? It'd be kind of tight over here. So it actually has to be on the left. This narrow, I don't know if I should do this. I guess I will. This narrow flashlight. Thanks for giving me no space. He saw me, he could have moved a little bit over at least. But I think some people will look at this as just a walking path instead of a bike path. Thank you. I don't think anything said that you can't use a bike here. Of course, they may say, well, you're motorized. Well, I'm going really slow. I don't know why that gentleman didn't move over a little bit. You know, kind of stayed in the middle of the sidewalk, seeing a big bike coming. I don't know what his deal was. I would have moved over a little bit. Yeah, this is a nice park. Alright, where else can we go? I think the other one heads out. Is this just parking lot? Oh yeah, we did this before like this. Okay. Alright, here we go. Yeah, they have sand volleyball here. And of course, baseball. Alright, we're gonna have to cut over here. Morning. Yeah, this path is too narrow for a bike, really. Not a bike path, it's really a walking path. But I didn't see any signs, but maybe there is a sign somewhere that says you can't use your bike, who knows? There's not that many people here, really. Alrighty, well, I've taken you through Flick Park. Appreciate you guys following along. Hey, if you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We have more rides coming up in the future. I'll talk to you guys next time. Alright, one more thing. I happened to notice, I didn't tell you what my final trip was. We did 14.2 miles. Let me turn here. 14.2 miles, and I used up 78% of the battery. So not too bad. Actually, can you head out this way? Apparently not. Let's go this way. A little confusing which ways you can go, which ways you can't go. Okay, I see. Just kind of move forward here. Anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know what the battery consumption was.